hello again. It is now officially the end of week 3 into my studies into classical Nahuatl, which is a little bit intimidating. We're already a quarter of the way through this 12-week period that I've set for myself. Unfortunately, it's been another quite busy week, so I haven't had very much time, or not as much time as I would have liked to commit to my studies. However, I have been continuing to go through this book. I'm now about, I'd say, a little bit less than halfway through. Now that I've finished going over all the verbal prefixes, I am starting work on familiarizing myself with the tense system. And one thing that this book does that I really appreciate is it gives a historical explanation for the verb classes, because Nahuatl has verbs that are divided into 4 classes based on the suffixes that they take in the preterite. And so what the book does is it actually has a section where it details how the suffixes evolved from depending on the phonology of the stem and things like that, which makes it a lot easier to predict, and it makes the whole class system seem a lot more manageable. And all the while, every chapter has a series of example sentences that demonstrate the grammatical points that the chapter is talking about, and it ends the chapter with either just an exercise like, cover the answers and translate these given sentences, or it's doing this with increasing frequency. It will end with an actual sample text, like an actual historical document of some kind in Nahuatl that it expects you to translate for yourself. Of course, without, relying on the dictionary that it provides for you. And I go through and translate every sentence I see in the book as it occurs. And in doing so, I think I'm really starting to familiarize myself more with the verb prefixes, and recognizing them and translating them is becoming more and more automatic, which is very good, because that was one of my goals. Not goals, but one of the things I wanted to work on. The other being increasing my vocabulary. And I think what's going to really help me in that respect is going to be these sample texts that the book provides, because that allows, I always find it's much easier to learn words from meaningful context. So I think that's about as good as I'm going to get in terms of meaningful input, at least for the time being, because I think these texts, they go along quite well with the chapters of the terms and the points of grammar that they introduce in each chapter, and I think I'm going to continue with that. However, I will say that I made quite a discovery a mere 2 days ago, and I'm honestly a little bit irritated that this wasn't brought to my attention sooner, but there is Wikipedia in Nahuatl. Why wasn't I told about this? This is amazing.
Nobody tells me nothing.
So that will doubtlessly be an invaluable resource as I go forward, and I will be mining every article I can get from it for vocabulary, which I look forward to. And I imagine I'll start to phase into that quite gradually as the texts in this book become easier and easier. But for now, I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing, and I'll see what I can accomplish in this next week, which I should have a lot more time on my hands this week. So I look forward to seeing what I'm able to do, and I will see you for the end of week 4 video. So thanks very much for watching.